Donald Trump's plan to accept a $400 million luxury jet/bribe from Qatar is so cartoonishly corrupt, it's now getting flack from Republicans. But don't worry, Attorney General Pam Bondi signed off on it, and I'm sure that's all above board. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. You might recall that when Joe Biden was president, Republicans were very concerned about government ethics. They held hearings, press conferences. Donald Trump even went so far as to teach an entire course on ethics at Oberlin. Lightly attended. Republicans were very uncomfortable with the possibility that the president, through his family, might have received money from foreign governments.
The Biden family and their business associates received $20 million in payments from foreign actors in places like Russia, China, Ukraine, and Romania.
More than $20 million went to Joe Biden's family, paid by Ukrainians and Russians and Kazakhs and Chinese communists.
He used the power of his office as the vice president of this country to secure massive amounts of money for his own family.
What exactly did the Bidens do to receive the millions and millions of dollars from our enemies around the world?
We don't like corrupt politicians like Joe Biden. You see, they just found him $5 billion went to him.
$5 billion? I think we would have noticed if Scranton Joe had suddenly become a multi-billionaire. I don't remember seeing a blinged-out Amtrak called Track Force One. The Hunter Biden fanfic got so bizarre, Republicans started claiming they were actually jealous of him.
Imagine if that was your name was Hunter Biden. Except Hunter's
I
name
wish
was your
my name was Hunter Biden. I could go abroad, make millions off of my father's presidency. I'd be a really rich guy. It would be incredible.
I wish my name was Hunter Biden, because then I'd be a really rich guy, and I'd go abroad and make millions of dollars, and then I'd come home, and my father would put his hand on my shoulder and say, "Welcome home, bub." And we'd talk, and we'd hug, and he'd ask about my life, and then he said, "I'm proud of you, son." And, I'm sorry, son. Here come the waterworks. Joe Biden loves his up, son. I wish I was Hunter. Of course, the one element missing from these allegations was something called proof, although they kept insisting it would come eventually.
You've made a couple of comments this morning. You said money laundering, you said bribery, you said influence peddling. Obviously, Mr. Chairman, these are very, very serious charges, and the White House is denying it. How will you prove it?
Yeah. Well, we're going to present the American people with a report, hopefully very soon. And there are going to be a lot of footnotes in this report.
It is true, there were lots of footnotes, although if you zoom in on those footnotes, they say, "We didn't think you were actually going to read these." But the accusations were never straightforward. The proof was always vague and circuitous and presented via complicated flowcharts or a copy of a check from James Biden to his brother Joe Biden from when Joe was a private citizen that was clearly labeled loan repayment on the memo line. I think Republicans were just shocked by the news that a president could be generous enough to loan someone money. I mean, can you imagine Trump helping someone like that? Rudy Giuliani did actual work for Trump, and Rudy is still bankrupt. The other day, I saw Rudy on the F train begging Pizza Rat for money. At least give me a bite of your pizza. I'm not worried about rabies. I already have it. You'll probably get rabies from me. Rubies. What do you mean you don't get it? That's what you call rabies from Rudy. They're called rubies. Oh, Pizza Rat. So in order to link Joe Biden to foreign payments, Republicans had to produce binders full of footnotes and paperwork and flowcharts that still added up to nothing. But you know what? Maybe it's hard to make a straightforward connection between a president's family and money from foreign governments. I mean, I'm sure we at this show couldn't pull something together in an afternoon. What's that? We already have a big old clip package?
Trump's family is doing billions in business in all three countries that he is visiting this week. Some of the deals going on right now: Saudi Arabia, 2 luxury towers, Live Golf Partnership, Qatar, Golf Club and Villas, UAE, luxury hotel, cryptocurrency deal.
Including here in Saudi Arabia, where there is a Trump-branded tower on the way in Jeddah. In Qatar, where the president is heading tomorrow, his son Eric recently unveiled a new beach villa and golf community. His third stop on this trip, the United Arab Emirates, which is home to the major investments in one of the Trump family newest ventures, the Trump's crypto company, World Liberty Financial.
President Trump's, quote, corruption tour of the Middle East. This was him landing in Saudi Arabia. Separately, the Trump family organization continues to pursue billions of dollars in real estate and associated deals in that country and region.
Hey, Republicans, I produced a report on Trump's corruption, and this is cool. There are no footnotes. So just the one page, and it says, "Are you seeing this?" It's also brazen. It's also brazen. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Trump just started calling his cryptocurrency corruptocurrency. My new corruptocurrency, it's amazing. You give me money, I give you everybody wins. Well, at least everybody I care about wins. That's me. Enjoy your And if you're curious what Saudi Arabia is getting in return for this mountain of cash they're dropping on Trump, Trump himself made it incredibly clear during a speech on Tuesday where he slobbered praise all over the murderous dictator who runs the country.
The gentleman that's right before me, he's your greatest representative. Greatest representative. And if I didn't like him, I'd get out of here so fast. You know that, don't you? He knows me well. I do. I like him a lot. I like him too much. That's why we give so much, you know? Too much. I like you too much. Great guy. Oh, what I do for the Crown Prince. Leaders of a modern and rising Middle East. So exciting. So exciting. Mohammed, you sleep at night? How do you sleep? Huh? Just thinking. What a job. He tosses and turns like some of us. Tosses and turns all night. How do I make it even better all night?
Even to Trump to accidentally say something incredibly damning while trying to give someone a compliment. This guy can't sleep at night. Some say it's because he's always thinking. Others say he's haunted by the atrocities he's committed. If it's not the ideas in his head keeping him up, it's the blood on his hands. But if by some chance the various business deals lining the pockets of the Trump family are not blatant enough for you, there's also the fact that Qatar is just giving Trump a giant luxury jet that he gets to keep after he leaves office.
It would likely be the most valuable gift ever given to the U.S. government from a foreign power. This is the airplane, a 13-year-old Boeing 747-8, known as a Flying Palace. The aircraft is larger and significantly more luxurious than the current Air Force One. The Qatari plane has 2 fully furnished floors, complete with plush carpet, leather couches, and 2 bedrooms.
It's known as the most luxurious private jet in the world. It features the biggest master bedroom in the sky, as well as some very plush living quarters and several private offices. Some of the 9 bathrooms on board have full showers and even a bidet.
I guess the only silver lining is Trump sees the bidet and thinks it's a water fountain. I had to lean down more than I wanted to, but very refreshing. And I'm sorry, why does the president need any of this? Air Force One is supposed to be technologically advanced, not luxurious. It's designed so the president can get national security briefings anywhere in the world, not so he can chill on leather couches and use 9 different bathrooms, which, by the way, he might need to do on the way home based on the fact that the Saudis set up a custom-built mobile McDonald's in anticipation of Trump's visit. Oh, shouldn't have had so much truck McDonald's. Glad we got 9 toilets. But Trump can't understand why we're being so mean and won't let him just have the super nice luxury jet.
The plane that you're on right now is almost 40 years old. And when you land and you see Saudi Arabia and you see UAE and you see Qatar and you see all these, and they have these brand new Boeing 747s mostly, and you see ours next to it, this is like a totally different plane. It's much smaller, it's much less impressive as it is. And, you know, we're the United States of America. I believe that we should have the most impressive plane.
No, we shouldn't. We are, as of this taping, still a democracy with the rule of law. The president shouldn't have a flying gold-plated party palace. Stuff like that is a sign of corruption. That's why Las Vegas looks like that. It was built by criminals. I don't care how much you love the feeling of water getting shot up your undercarriage. And I agree, it's nice. I mean, I don't have a bidet myself, so I just keep a super soaker and a hand mirror in my bathroom. Yeah, it's not easy the first time, but you get the hang of it. The point is, they have nicer planes because they're not democracies. They're royal kingdoms where they oppress people and use the public's money to build opulent palaces for their rulers. We don't do that here. If you ask me, the president should be forced to fly the same way the rest of us do. He should have to sit at Newark for 6 hours, nursing a $30 Bloody Mary and chewing on a pretzel while he waits for the one on-duty air traffic controller's hands to stop shaking. Hey, Gary, you almost ready to get back out there? Yeah, just one more minute. You sure? You sure there's not one other guy who can do this today? Not only is this jet from Qatar the sort of direct foreign bribe Republicans pretended to care about a few years ago, but even Trump himself warned us about gifts from this specific country back in 2016.
Hillary took millions from Kuwait, Qatar, Oman, and many other countries.
25 million from Saudi Arabia, 5 million from Morocco, 5 million from Oman, Bahrain, Algeria, Qatar. Saudi Arabia paid Bill Clinton a lot of money to make a speech and then got an arms deal from Hillary and her State Department that they were unable to get. The nation of Qatar also kicked in $1 million for Bill Clinton's birthday party. So nice.
I will say it's fun to imagine Bill explaining to Hillary why he needed so much money for his birthday party. Hillary, I need $1 million from Qatar. We're getting a magician, a cotton candy machine. Gonna be a big bouncy castle. This whole thing is so ludicrously corrupt, even Republicans are engaging in a rare act of disobedience by publicly expressing skepticism of Trump's decision to accept the jet.
I think America can afford their own plane and build their own Air Force One.
So you'd be advising him against taking this plane from the Qataris?
Yes.
I do think the jet probably sends the wrong signal to people, and I don't like the look or appearance of it, so I would hope that he would reject it.
Obviously, we don't want to be straight up accepting any type of gift from any foreign government.
He should turn down this gift. I'm not a fan of the Qatari airplane.
I also think the plane poses significant espionage and surveillance problems. So we'll see how this issue plays out, but I certainly have concerns.
Of course, Ted Cruz is only against it until Trump invites him onto the plane. You know, I thought it was a bad idea, but then I got a free lift and realized that President Trump is a master negotiator. He even let me have a refreshing drink of water out of the bidet. And the Republicans who aren't appalled say it's okay with them as long as it's okay with the lawyers.
I understand it went through Pam Bondi, so it's legal, it's ethical.
Yes, Attorney General Pam Bondi signed off on it, and there's no way she has any conflicts of interest when it comes to Qatar.
We should note Bondi was a paid lobbyist for Qatar to the tune of $115,000 a month.
What? The Attorney General who signed off on the bribe from Qatar was previously a paid lobbyist for Qatar? Was she also the CEO of a company that installs bidets on airplanes? Tired of flying American? Feeling down about the delta between your butt cheeks? Why not clean your Southwest region with Bondi's bidets? You'll feel refreshed in body and in spirit. Bondi's bidets, it's a new frontier. A democracy that values the rule of law should not have an opulent golden sky palace for its leaders, and they definitely shouldn't get to keep it. If you're someone who pretended to care about Hunter Biden's foreign payments, but now you're cool with Trump's business dealings, I just have one question for you.
How do you sleep?
This has been A Closer Look.
Thanks for watching.